Hey guys, how you doing? Oh my goodness, what are we doing here? Hello YouTube, hello Facebook. Hang on, I'm being adjusted. So late, so sorry. I can't even begin to tell you. My day started like at 7 o'clock this morning with messages and texts, and it hasn't stopped. So I do apologize for that. In fact, today really made me reflect on all the years that my kids waited patiently while I was taking phone call after phone call. Oh, do you have time for one more reading? I'm like, Mom, we gotta go. And I'm like, I really can't. And just feeling torn all the time. I can't tell you what a big deal having this extra day off a week really does mean, because it feels like I'm finally taking time for me and not being pulled apart and trying to meet everyone's needs, even though I'm cramming more into one less day a week. I'm still cramming more work, and the shop is just busier on those days. So not complaining, not nothing like that, but this is a big deal for me. I mean, I've been working since I was 10 years old. I have had a work permit since I was 10. Um, and I have not stopped, you know. So it's just working a 4 day week is insane. So I just want to see who's here. Oh my goodness. Hello, Miss J. Oh my gosh. Hello, Angela. Okay, everyone's kind of lining up. And again, I'm really sorry to be so late. And um, the story of my life. Day late, the dollar short. So, what are you gonna do? Actually, not so much the dollar short thing anymore. That's the good thing. Letting me take off the extra day because I'm not a dollar short anymore. Um, Hard work does pay off. So, anyway, how are we doing? It is madness out there. Madness. Rosemary Elizabeth. Yeah. What is going on? Readings. We're continuing the theme. I mean, the theme started around the full moon 2 weeks ago. Now we're at the new moon, and it's just the breakups, the bad behavior. We're seeing things accelerating very quickly. Manic behavior, abusive behavior, addictive behaviors. Hello, Gail. I was thinking about you earlier today. I've never gotten a hold of you, and I really, Nat, how you doing? Gail, call me at the shop one day, okay? Um, Thursday, Friday, give the shop a call, and let's try to talk for like 5 minutes, okay? I know it's hard for you to get in, but give me a call, okay? Sometime around 11:30, 12 o'clock, or you know, around noon, 1 o'clock is usually. Well, it's either really, really busy or really, really slow. Yesterday, it was insane from the time I walked at 11 o'clock until about 4, and today it was more like around 1 o'clock it picked up. So I never know. How you doing, Nat? Oh my goodness, Sandra, Jane, yay! See you tomorrow. Yes. Thank you, Gail. Yep. Call me at the store. And I want to tell people too that when you're looking at my newsletter, a lot of my readers, not all of them, I can't say all of them, but many of them, we can now do phone readings for the fair. So if you're interested, um, yeah, I didn't even think to put this in the newsletter, but we do it. I do it kind of pick and peck. I don't really advertise a lot. Don't need to. There's only 6 hours and it fills up pretty quick. But if you wanted to talk to one of the readers for the half hour, the $30 thing, many of them, not all of them, take Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, whatever, Zelle, and we can probably make something happen if there's somebody you really want to talk to. Okay, so that is something else to think about. I do some really, I mean, I stand by my readers. And I guess if I really didn't have a conscience, I could do some kind of psychic phone line because I make a fortune. But my readers are busy. Actually, I shouldn't even say that because my readers they're busy. Their private readings are tremendous. You're getting a lot of them at a great discount at the fair. So I never understood high fair prices because that's personal prices. You get a private reading from somebody. But most of them, it's a lot more money to get a private reading. So some of them, like Andrea, Karen, I mean, I'm not gonna, but their private prices are match to their talents. Mediumship especially tends to command a higher price, and especially if you've got a medium who consistently gets through and gets messages. So, just want to say there's that too. But anyway, I'm not touting. It's just, and I can't do the minute reading stuff. That's $5 a minute or some crazy price they get for these psychic hotlines. I know they make a fortune, but I just can't. I can't. Never gonna be able to sell my soul. Never gonna happen. I just can't do it. So, and my guides have always been very clear about the money and what I can charge, and I feel good about it. I sleep very comfortably at night. We take money after reading is done. If you're not happy, you don't pay. I can't make it any more ethical than that. How you doing, Dee? And then my readers are all on board with that. I've kept the prices low. I actually haven't raised prices in 16 years of business. And there you go. So anyway, we're all independent contractors, not employees of the store. It works out very well. So, and many of them, like God, Pina, I've been with me for like 12 years. I always joke, I say readers are either with me for a day, they last a day after the interview process, or they're there for over a decade. I don't have anything in the middle there. So I do lose some to their own private lives. They're busy or whatever's going on in their lives. Jocelyn's expecting a baby, that's why she's not been around. But yeah, it's been pretty good stuff. I gotta say that it's been a very rewarding 16 years, and I see no reason for it not to continue being rewarding for quite some time to come. I've toyed with the idea of opening a second shop in Florida. That may happen at some point. I always say I'm retiring to Key West. I'm going to have a little bungalow there and a little cabana on the beach, and I'll be there in my 80s throwing cards and a bikini top and a long skirt and doing my thing on the beach. But that's my retirement plans. Anyway, let's hope not 80. So, what else? Yeah, Jane, I can't. A lot of people come in and they're like, "Can you go to Florida?" And I'm like, "Oh, so tempting." Daisy's home from Florida, finishing college, and she's got masters to get through, and senior year of her high school. Not for high school. Wow, wishful thinking. I no longer have high school students. God, Roy is done with his first year of college. Can you stand it? A lot of you who've known me know Roy was 2 years old when I opened the store. Daisy was, 7? Yeah, my kids were little. I've watched your kids grow up. You watched my kids grow up. A lot of you remember I had the Brio train set downstairs. I had this big table with like Brio trains, and the boys would go down there and play. The kids would play, and I had puzzles. And hey, Linda, I had a big church pew in my Monroe shop. And I had puzzles and books, and people would take turns reading to Roy while I was doing readings, and it was amazing. It was amazing. He'd be sitting on my lap while I was throwing cards, Really, and it's always been a family environment. That hasn't changed a bit. Animals, pets, it's always been a comfortable, homey, exactly how I would want it to be. Light, and oh my goodness. Great, Jane. Thank you, Linda. So, yeah. So anyways, that was my thinking. Second shop in Florida. We'll see. Of course, Maine has been calling me hard. I don't know why. I hate the cold. It hurts me at this point. Breathing cold air, it gets in your bones. And I'll tell you, you reach an age, I don't feel old, but you reach an age where if you fall on the ice, you ain't getting up real quick. And about 3 years ago, I did that in front of the store. It was like 2:00 in the morning. We're on a hill. It's like San Francisco. Not quite. I'm exaggerating, but it is a hill. And I fell on the ice. I was so glad no one was around. No one had no videos, nothing to commemorate this embarrassing moment. But I slipped on the ice. It was black ice, and I was actually out there at 2:00 in the morning shoveling, so I wouldn't get stuck with a monster job in the morning. So I went out, shoveled my stairs, shoveled down the front, and slipped. And on the slope, I couldn't get back up. I had to literally slide my ass down the hill to the light post, find a way to wrap my legs around the light post and get up. And I was just like, man, this is a new low. This is a new low, and this is not good. So I've been really grateful for the past 2 winters where it's been very mild. I think we've had one snowstorm for the past 2 winters each. And I'm like, I could leave snow behind. I really could. And all the years I had chickens, so I still a couple of chickens, but and my ex-husband takes care of them very well. But the goats, I remember going out there with literally 3, 4 feet of snow, trudging up a hill, carrying buckets of boiling water, bringing the hay up, because that doesn't stop, and then milking them, well, usually they were pregnant in the wintertime, so I had to do milking in the January, February, March, and usually had a baby, usually in April, March and April, the babies came. But because I milked them like for 8 years too. Uh, anyway, good times. But as Dolly Parton says, remembering the old times, those hard times, it's nice that they're memories. I don't mind that they're memories. Relocation astrology. I have heard of relocation astrology. It's part of cartomancy. Cartology, I think it's called. And I've actually got a book on it that I've been meaning to read for, I don't know, a year or two. Oh, Linda, ow. Well, I'm on blood thinners now, so actually cracking my head open would probably be the last thing I remember is falling on the ice. So that'd be bad for me. Another reason why I'm not crazy about the snow and the ice. Falling on the ice is a dangerous proposition for me now. So, oh my goodness, who was saying hi up here? Okay, I'm just babbling away. Okay, I know on astro.com, it's hard to figure out initially, but they have a free program on astro.com that tells you, and it's interesting. It's by linear zones, like California, where I grew up. Terrible place if I'd ever stayed there to go into business or try to raise a family. As long as I actually, and I gotta tell you, the South is not good for me either. I talk about Florida, but there's a certain point where if I go below that point, it really isn't behooving to business. Connecticut puts me right where I should be in terms of being very respected and financially, excuse me, I've got hiccups, stable. So yeah, that is an interesting aspect of astrology to see where your natal lines line up with energetically with ley lines and with points. And yeah, it's pretty cool. You can pick out cities and towns that you're thinking of and then see how you fare in that area energetically, astrologically. Okay. That's not cool, Linda. Not cool. Yeah, Connecticut. And like I said, Maine is calling. I would have to be in a really sweet little cabin or house that I could just stay very warm. And I like to be outside. So I don't know. I don't know why that is. I mean, I think the idea of being up on a hill in the woods looking at the ocean, and my son, my Roy, is the idea of going to Maine is huge. He started me, but all of a sudden, like, no, he's right. Maine feels good. Nova Scotia feels good. Hey, Dab, I was wondering if you were going to show up. It's late, I know. But Nova Scotia, even Iceland, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? It's like I've got a crazy person in my head. A demon is like, you should go up north. Yeah, what could go wrong? Yeah, wood burning stove. Yeah, we have one in our house in Shelton, and that is sweet. There isn't like a wood burning. There's nothing like wood. My God, a wood fire to warm you up. New Hampshire, if I could be near the ocean, yeah. Carolinas. You know, I got to tell you, Jane, the Carolinas have never felt safe to me. They've never felt safe. And it is, yeah, I guess I wasn't near the ocean. Maybe. Could be. Oh. Nice. Nice, Elizabeth. You renting or did you make a purchase? That's nice. Hmm. Okay. Well, we'll see. Thank you, Rabbit. I've actually lightened it up a little bit. A little brassy there. I go pretty close to my natural color, so I don't have roots really hanging out, but good for you. We got to talk, Elizabeth. Such a Capricorn. Okay, I'll tell you the most Capricorn thing I ever saw in my life, and Elizabeth was there. I had Elizabeth, Elise, I'm naming names. Oh my God, and one other Capricorn. So it's like a joke. It's like three Capricorns walked into Talisman, and within like seconds, I was like, they would. It was Rosemary. I think it was Rosemary. Were you there? And it was immediately about investments, Roth IRAs, and real estate. I'm like, this is the most Capricorn thing I ever saw in my life. Like, this is textbook. This is like, take a picture of it and put it in an astrology book. You remember that? You're laughing because you do remember it. It was hysterical. Hysterical. Rhode Island. I love Rhode Island. You're right about that, Linda. It is so spiritual. The energy in Rhode Island is amazing. Roland Comtois has his spiritual center in Rhode Island. You would love that. I think you were there though, Rose. There was three of you. It was Elizabeth, Elise, and someone else. I was like, my three Capricorns just converged, and it became a ooh. I'm looking over at Juliana here talking about relatives in Maine all over the state. Really? There's a place in Maine there's a bay. Something Bay, actually it's called. And the ocean is like there, and there's the bay is right there, and there's just so much fresh water too. Which I'm not really a big freshwater person, but anyway, yeah. And actually, Deb Duva just gave me a nice haircut. It's just that my hair goes into shock when I cut it, so it literally goes like at right angles, and I've got these cowlicks, and my hair is full of cowlicks. Booth Bay, yes, Elizabeth, Booth Bay. Oh, there was a house that I wanted so bad. And it was a big house and it had like outbuildings. And I was like, oh dear God, this is the place. But then it's a tourist thing. You don't really have business, 12 seasons. I guess I could write my books. I've got three, like, on paper-ish. So yeah, it is expensive. It is. So yeah, so anyways, after about a week, my hair goes out of shock. And I usually throw some color in it, and it's good for another couple months. What made you leave California? I'll be honest, I was 14 years old, and it was a very abusive home, and I ran for my life. My grandparents said I could stay for the summer, not knowing how bad things were, and I left and never went back. I did not go back to California until I was 35 years old. Daisy was a newborn baby, and my mother was dying, and my brother needed some support. And because I had taken care of her from a distance, the medical and the financial stuff, as he had done the physical stuff there. And then my mother died, and my grandparents were dying. So and then my marriage died. So it was like lots of death. I always feel so much compassion for people who come in and they're just wiped out, because sometimes the hits just keep hitting. And I remember those times that I never went back. And it's a different place now. My older boy is in California. He is up. He's like an hour and a half from the Oregon line. He's in the woods actually. So pretty cool stuff. You up to 14 too, yeah? Yep, Kim, honor student. Luckily, I still graduated 12th in my class. I went to 4 different high schools, 3 different time zones. I was no call my dad. Yep, you have to leave. And sometimes that's it. You have to leave. And that's whether it's a marriage or and people will say, oh, no, it's your mother, or oh, it's your family. No, it's not. It's not safe. And when we owe our kids certain things. And that's, we owe our kids security. They should feel safe in their home. And a lot of times we introduce partners, but then we leave. Or, you don't normalize abuse. You don't try and make it sound like this is how people live. No, they don't. And it's so hard for kids who grow up in abusive homes, because you go to someone's house and it's like nobody's yelling at anybody. Like nobody's getting mad because you opened the refrigerator and took a cup of milk out without asking permission. You get to go to the bathroom and ask permission, I mean, when it gets weird, guys, you know? Set you up for a lifetime of some really awful problems if you're not careful. So, yeah. But then when you have children, you know, and I wasn't going to, hey, Daniel, I wasn't going to have kids. I was like, nope, I'm not going to fuck up little people the way, you know, nope. But lots of therapy. I worked for Department of Health, had great access to wonderful people, and just try to be a different parent and figure out what went wrong. And I know a lot of young people who are doing that really admirably. And yeah, the scary thing is that what you back at you can back at anybody who escapes, because staying is death. Staying in a mm-hmm. I don't know, Linda. It's tough. I don't know. But therapy is key. You really got to get good therapy. You've got to find a therapist that you trust. And it shouldn't go on for years and years, but you should, you know, you do need to talk to somebody who can unravel like why that happened. Because what you do if you don't, you marry the parent that was problematic, whether it was the mother or the father. I assure you, you will seek out and find that person. You could date 20 great guys, 20 great women, but you will marry the one who will treat you exactly, make you feel exactly as the abusive parent did. And this is subconscious. It's part of the human condition. Why? Because we want to fix our parents. We want our parents to like us, not love us. There's something in us that says, well, they're supposed to love us, but we know they don't like us. And we want them to. We want them to say, you're great the way you are. Oh, that was a wonderful thing. Or, you know, I just love hearing you talk. The stuff that we never heard growing up, right? Um, and and we find people who will treat us exactly that way. And here's why: because in our mind, in our subconscious mind, we're going to work on that person like an experiment and fix them, and then we'll have the secret to go back and fix the abusive or the absent or the negligent or the addicted parent. Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to fix this one, and then we're going to go back and fix this one, and it never works. Never. But unless you realize you're doing it, you will do it and do it over and over, and you will find other aspects. Take it from someone who's divorced twice. Other aspects of that parent you will find in someone new. It's like, oh no, this one's nothing like the other one. No, this is new and different. So you didn't see the fact that they don't do these bad habits, but they do these toxic things. And you're like, oh my God. And when you realize you're like a bird in a cage, someone just slammed the door shut. Yep. No, I know, Kim, because I third time. Oh, Angela, I came in. I'm just looking here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see the comments. Yeah, you can. You want to find the parent that was like, yeah. Oof. Wow. But then and there is that too. I mean, I'm focusing on the negative. The positive is if you have wonderful parents who are happy with each other. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen always. It doesn't happen always. You would think, oh, there's the magical charm, you know. Now, parents who are wonderful parents who are giving and kind still have kids who are addicted. Still have kids who are motivated. Still have kids who, you know, find bad partners. I can't tell you how many people I know who've come in with parents with their 20-something-year-old kids holding the grandkids hostage. That's a really fun thing. I hear it all the time. Well, if I don't give them the money for the down payment, they're not going to see my grandchildren. Well, if I don't babysit, they're like, you'll never see them again. Oh, if you, you know, go against this, you know, it's constant. You'll never see them again. And it's usually a grandparent that's actually raised the child, you know, and then the grown kid finds somebody new and, you know, they're off to make a new life. And that, and I got to tell you, I have a lot of a lot of grandmothers who are looking forward to retirement who are now raising grandchildren. And the problem is these grandchildren were born addicted or, severe autism or, and I see them in the store and they come in because kids calm down and the shop's always been, a place for kids to come and they know I love kids. But I do feel for the grandparents because they say I love the child, but this is not how I expected to spend my retirement. I didn't expect to raise children, you know, I didn't expect to have to do this again, and this child needs 24/7 care. So, and it crosses, I'll tell you, it crosses racial, socioeconomic, crosses everything, excuse me. Um, and it's really sad, really sad. And then the same kid goes ahead and meets somebody new and then has another baby, or has another addicted baby. You're on Suboxone. You're on what are you doing getting pregnant? You're giving birth to an addicted child. And when you see an addicted baby, you don't get over that. When I had Devin, there was one in the hospital, and I just wanted to take him home with me too. Very tragic, very hard to look at. Oh my God. Yeah, Daniel. I'm sorry, I got YouTube over here saying that his cousin used to do the same thing, hold the kids hostage until she did what she wanted. So no, what's really cool, Kim, for me is that every day I get to preach to the choir. You guys are the ones that have problems. You're the ones that have to go out in that world. I have created a lovely, wonderful, secure place to shop, my home, my little gardens, my little community, and the people that come into my shop want to be better people. The people that come into my store, they're there to, be positive and ways to make things better. How can I protect my family? How can I raise the energy? How can I clear? How can I, help my kids do better in school? And it's wonderful. It's all about nurturing. And 95% of the time, it really is about someone who wants things better. And how can you go wrong with that? They're there because they want to be there. I don't advertise the shop. If anything, I actually spend a lot of time cloaking it. So like I went by your store, like I was driven by 30, 50 times. I never saw it. And no, you won't see it. It's very cloaked. Even there's an open sign that light up and no. I keep it. There's 3 churches up the road and I was the same way in Monroe. Very cloaked. You'll find me if you want me. I'm all over the internet. You Google witchcraft, Google Laura Lenhard, Google a lot of things. I'm the first thing up. I'm right at the top of the list. It's really cool. But no, after 16 years of business, I don't have to worry about advertising. I think I only advertised the first year anyway, my first year of business. And the thing about a mystical shop is that if you're not into it, it doesn't matter. You could offer 80% off. I mean, if you don't like it, you're not going to come in. It's not like a liquor store or a nail salon or, it's just a different animal altogether. And I figured that out pretty quickly. So I did pop-up events. I did fairs. I hate that. I hate vending. I quit that as quick as I could. Did lots and lots of parties. Was in people's houses, throwing cards. Those days are over too. I don't go out till 2, 3 in the morning doing private parties, and I don't regret, but I don't miss it either. Those were grueling. I get up the next day, school, kids, and back to the store. Grueling. Thank you, Miss Jen. So anyway, but it's really harder to go into an office situation. It's harder to go into a hostile home situation. I don't deal with that anymore. You know, um, I I keep a very tight circle, and I really don't go very many places. I just kind of stick to myself and my little group. But I socialize all day long. So and I'm talking from the time I walk in the store till I leave. I am so tired of my own voice, and then I do a video every Friday. And I just talk for a couple hours, but that's how that is. Okay. So thank you, Miss J. I really do work hard to keep the shop clear, energy high, even the smell in the store, which I can't enjoy because I have no sense of smell. but I've been, every time someone walks in, they just breathe, and they're like, "Oh, it smells so good in here." And it's a mixture of all the oils and incenses, and I don't burn incense either, except to the Kali shrine. It's not going all day long. I don't have that heavy, smoky. It's really a light energy, but yeah, I like it. I live in a glass house. I appreciate the rich aesthetic. It's just not my aesthetic. The makeup and the nails and the dark hair, and it's not me. And I appreciate the witch aesthetic too. And in terms of the shops in Salem, and the reds and the blacks and the burgundies and the. But I would live in a glass house. I like to wake up in the morning with the sun blasting me in the face, and I'm definitely a daughter of Apollo. I love my roosters. I loved that wonderful sunshine and energy. Mm. Oh, oh. So anyways, anybody want to talk about the new moon? Anybody want to talk what's going on? And I'll start throwing cards. Any questions? Anything anybody wants to talk about in terms of what they're dealing with? Yeah, I'm not a curtain person, Sue. I like it light and bright and lots of sunshine. How are we doing, guys? Any questions? Anything? Che is usually has a few good questions, some good stuff she likes to talk about. I'm pretty sure we start with Pisces this week, right? Pisces. Keep me like I gotta remember that but I'm pretty sure it's Pisces. Ooh, laryngitis. Yes, I'm Leo rising, ruled by the sun. Absolutely, Kim. I think Leo rising are the easiest people to recognize. Leo rising and Scorp rising. You can always tell a Scorp rising. Oh, Dan. Probably, it's not guilt, Daniel. But it could be your own internal fear that you let your dad down some way. It could be something that you feel like you let him down. I think that has more to do with it. Get some orange selenite and put in your pillow. That'll put a stop to that, okay? Oh, dear God. Okay. All right. Sag. My daughter Devin's a Sag too. Oh, dear God. I don't know about the cards. And 3 weeks ago is too soon. Even I know some mediums can reach out at 3 weeks, but you usually want to wait at least 2-3 months for someone to fully transition. And Mr. I am very, very sorry. So sorry. I'm really sorry for that. The only thing I would say for you, Sue, is you want to think about warding your home. Wards, get some mirrors up, get a good mirror up in your foyer that faces the door or front window. You want things reflected back out, and you want some good wards set up. If you email me, okay, Sue at lenhard@comcast.net, and in the subject line, just put sage and warding papers. I'll send you my cleansing salt bath and warding papers, how you ward your property, because that's really important. Oh, dear God. All right. You guys can talk back and forth, Kim. It's really okay. And people do it all the time. message back and forth. It's all right. I'm trying to evict you now. Something that'll buy you some time, maybe, Miss J, is try putting him in a sugar jar. It's real simple magic, but it's a lot easier sometimes to sweeten somebody up than to get rid of them, especially if he has legal rights over you. You want to have some compassion. Get a jar, like a sugar bowl. It's called sugar bowl. Get a bowl. Get his name. If you have a signature, that's better, or a picture. Jesus. All right, and then put him in the sugar bowl. There's legal stuff going on, Miss J. He can't just kick you out like that. I mean, you have legal rights. Yes, it's heavy energy. It's been heavy since the new moon, since the last full moon in Scorpio. It's been heavy. Oh, good. Yep. Okay. All right. And it's his, and Miss J, it's his home. It's he has rights to the house. Yeah, you can't just kick somebody out. If you've been getting mail in that residence, you got some time. And if he continues to do that, you can put a restraining order. So you do have legal rights there. Daniel, I gotta tell you, I know men who have owned their home, married way too quick for the moment kind of stuff. I brought a woman in and she didn't. I wish I know this too many times has happened, and within months, weeks, pick a fight, start a fight, get him to bump, hit, push, something, call the police, restraining order. He's out, she's in. I know one guy, it cost him close to $15,000, and it took a year and a half to get her out of the house. She and her son, and his son was adult. He was a lawyer. She knew exactly what she was doing. There she was. He kept delaying the court stuff, and I'm sorry, Daniel. I'm sorry about that. I never want to be right about bad stuff. Oh, God. Yeah, restraining orders can help. It's true, Miss J. I'm not sure what the living situation is, if you've got a room or you've got an apartment, but. Well, talk to Daniel because he's right there. You can message back and forth, but he's going through it too. So on the opposite end of it, but I'm sorry for that, Kim, because that is tough. Something that can help, Kim, if you can get a Rose of Jericho when it's towards the end. You Rose of Jericho. They look like a dried up tumbleweed, actually fern, and you get a shallow dish of water and put it next to the bed while they're transitioning, or when you know the end is coming. And within 3 days, they turn green, they sprout, and the water is amazing. You change the water every day. You just put it shallow. You want just the roots to be in the water, not the whole plant. I know someone had bought one once and was saying the plant died. I'm like, how did it die? They don't die, but she put the whole thing in like a big bowl of water. No, but Rose of Jericho, um, also called resurrection plant. Many Christians have them, and they start them on Holy Thursday, excuse me, and then by Easter Sunday they're green, and let them go for like 10 days. I'm hiccuping because I quickly ate a few bites of food, which are now going to give me burping. I do it every Friday. I do this. I'm a creature of habit, but stupid, stupid habits. Um, but anyway, Rose of Jericho or resurrection plant, and they really help energetically and eliminate a lot of fear. It's that death to life. It's a powerful. And then you take the water when you change the water, save it, and you put that in a spray. When you spray the room with the water, it's probably the most magical plant you can, or botanical, you can have in your magical cabinet. And you have them for, some people have them for decades. You know, after like 10 days, you take it out of the water, shake it off, let it dry on paper towel, and then when it's dry, it needs to be bone dry, wrap it in a cloth and just put it in a dark drawer where it's gonna, not get, you never put it in plastic. You don't want it to have any kind of mildew or anything. And people take it, like I said, you can take it out every year, every 6 months. Yeah, they're amazing. But Google it too. Rose of Jericho magic, and resurrection plant magic, and you're going to see there's just such an amazing plant and so much use. So everyone really should have one. I do have Rose of Jericho in my shop. I do carry it. It's like $7.95, I think. But they're also easy to find. They're not going to get a fake Rose of Jericho. It's yep, eBay, Etsy. Orange candles really help with jobs. Yes, they help with when you're ready to negotiate. Chase, and there you are! Yay! I was just, if your ears are ringing, I just mentioned your name. You want to do yellow candles to open doors, but when it goes into the interview process, switch over to orange. Okay? Call me because I just sold one today. That's why it's fresh in my mind. Make sure I have some more in the. I know I have more, but I'm not sure how many more. Just always call the shop before you make a trip. Make sure I have what I say I have. I can get it in. I'm going to order more, of course, but I think I have 3 or 4 in there. I have a big jar of them. So, okay. So there you go. I love when we switch the conversation to magic and witchcraft because that's kind of my thing. Aw, oh no. All right. That's cool. Your cat rings a bell for treats. My cat, well, Keekers is like a huge cat, but he purrs like a motorboat. So when he's in the mood for a treat or he wants attention, you really can't ignore him. He doesn't need a bell. He just kind of enters the room purring, takes over. Hola, hello, Melody. Okay, so I'm shuffling. Let's do some readings. We'll be here till like 1 in the morning, which will be okay. I am. A lot of sad stories. I hear them. I hear them all. The thing about witchcraft, and I was talking to someone earlier today. Oh, I'll just keep talking. Whatever. I'll just keep yakking. I was talking to someone earlier, and they were saying how, like, they never liked any kind of dark magic, any kind of, they just wanted, love and light and protection. You should do protection. So I'm like, well, that's all good. And that's all you need to do, really. Healing is the best, and that's how we usually start with healing magic. If we're going to teach magic, and I keep talking about starting whatever. I will. I had this wonderful idea that I was calling the Young Witches Club, and I have a great group of young 20-somethings who are actually pretty accomplished witches. They're pretty talented, and I have to say I'm impressed. They're not young in terms of experience, that's for sure. And I thought it'd be really cool if we did like a roundtable thing. I had some really cool ideas for homework assignments and magic talk, and they're so confident in their magic. That's what I really love. Is my witchlets are so confident in their magic, and I do when I send out my that sage and salt bath and cleansing paper, the warding papers I send out. I'm like, whatever you do magically, do with confidence. You can't have one foot behind. You got to be all in. This is happening. A manifestation is 100%. This has already happened. There's a difference between prayer and magic. In prayer, it's like, please God, please help me get this job. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I'm not mocking. Magic is, I have the job. I see myself in the workplace. That's where I'm going to park my car. I see myself in this seat. This is what I'm doing. And then it's like you've hooked the fish and you reel it in. Okay, that's magic. It's already happened. and you're pulling it towards you. Okay? So, anyway, and both are valid sound. Prayer is very powerful. Okay? You do have to believe. No, see, you have to know it's going to work, not believe. Know it's going to work. That's the thing. You can't just believe it. You got to know it. It's already happened. You already, like fertility magic. You already had the baby. You know it's the baby's already in the house. Where's the crib going? Where's the cradle going? You plan your nursery. Start laying it out. It's already happened. You're bringing that baby to you, and that's how that works. Mm-hmm. But the thing about magic, and I was telling this person today, is people say I would never do anything dark. I gotta tell you something. If someone was stalking your kid, you might. If your daughter was married to, let's say, a cop, a dirty cop, who was beating her up at night and telling her that if she said anything, he already had all the connections and he'd take the kids away, everyone thinks she's crazy, and you're sitting there watching this, seeing your kid terrified, you might be tempted. Promise you would be. Your kid was assaulted, okay? If someone puts pictures of your kid up on the internet, if someone was coming at your kid, bullying on the internet, because the bullying that goes on nowadays is very, very different from the bullying from our growing up, okay? The internet has made it insidious and horrible, and kids kill themselves by what's put out there on the internet about them. And these little bitches and bastards know exactly what they're doing. I have no problem leveling the playing field because that's what magic does. And that's what happened throughout millennia. Millennia, when things were stacked against you, when your family and your priests and your preacher people and your friends couldn't help you, when doctors don't have answers, people turn to magic. When the lawyers and the cops and the legal thing is working against you, people turn to magic. And they used to go to that person. My grandmother talked about this. Of course, she talked about it back in a time when you couldn't get an abortion. And those same people knew the herbs and the plants and could make a tea. I've got the recipe. Not giving it out, but I got the recipe. But there was, a woman that could give you the right things to drink so you'd get your period. These aren't new problems. These are old problems. And it's not to have a grandmother who saw girls bleed to death from botched abortions that you realize how bad it could be at a time when your life was ruined if you had a baby before you were married. Your life was ruined. And she really brought it home because there was a Catholic priest in her small town of Avoca, Pennsylvania. And that's where my Irish family is from, all Avoca, Wilkes-Barre, that whole area there. But young priest, got a girl pregnant. And the Catholic Church, the diocese moved him, never told anybody, he disappeared. And her life was ruined. Her life was ruined. She was always that, small town, poverty. You weren't going nowhere, and everyone knew. So, nobody blames the priest. Let's see what else I'm looking here, what we got going on. Oh, yeah. Yep. No, I know this because my daughter was bullied like that. And I took care of that shit too. And it was the same thing. Putting up videos, voiceovers on stuff, and really, really shitty things. It's really shitty. And it was one of the rare times in my life where I always try to be nice. I do. I always walk in nicely. And when it was brought to my attention, and the school asked if I wanted to call the police and bring the police in, I said, no, I know the girl, I know her parents. Let me make a phone call. Big mistake. Always bring the police in. Always make that phone call. Fuck them. If someone is able to bully your kid, they can take what happens. They're like, oh no, you're on the record. I don't want to do that. I called. If there was a way I could have thrown gasoline on a fire, it's exactly what I did. It actually bumped up. It bumped up like you wouldn't believe. told everybody that I threatened to call the police on her. I'm like, I never said that. I said the schools asked. Um, it ruined her school year. She was uninvited to prom. There was no graduation parties. She's got a crazy mom. She's gonna call the police. I'm like, I didn't say that. I didn't even. All I said was stop your kid. I've got pictures. I got the videos. I've got them on my phone. You want to see? Yeah. And no one doubted it. I heard other stories because it wasn't the first go around for this girl, and one of the most popular girls, cheerleader. But it's not cool. It was not a cool time. At the same time, Daisy was going through the whole stomach thing. I've not talked a lot about it, but I'll tell you something right now. She's still locked up in the mirror. Every now and then, I just make sure. Better enjoy. I'm glad you enjoyed your senior year, honey, because that'll be your best year. Not a cool time. So. Yeah, it's the enabling. It's yeah, that's what I'm saying. But Kat, you're right. I know what's happened here. It's happened on YouTube a few times when people have come in. God, I loved Roadhouse Brian. Oh my God, that's one of my favorite movies. No, it's funny when my daughter was a cheerleader, and she was a freshman, and I was like, I tell you something. I said we never liked the cheerleaders, like because they were always bitchy and mean, and I said if I ever hear you, I was driving a bunch of them somewhere in my minivan back in the day, and the seniors were just being horrible about some girl, and Devin's eyes were huge because she'd seen me like getting. I didn't say anything. We were alone coming home. I said, if I ever find out that you were part of anything like that, you'll be off that team so fast. Mom, I would never. I know that. And I will tell you, everyone that knew Devin for those 4 years has always said she was funny to everybody. She was nice to everybody. She smiled at everybody. She was never that kid. So, and actually, it was a nice class of children. It was really a nice group that went through high school. And she, yeah, and then she was a flyer. I've shared some pictures of her. She's an amazing gymnast and very athletic. Um, so it was really a cool time, very competitive, and pretty neat stuff. All four of the kids played their sports. Actually, I really, sports are good for kids. That's one thing I will say. No, you don't know what someone's going through at home. I will. It's very hard to do anything without a name. It is hard. And the thing about karma, and I can talk about karma because I do worship an Indian goddess. She's my deity, mother. Karma is not what you think of it. Karma is universal justice and balance. And probably justice, that balance is a better word for it. The universe wants balance. But because time really doesn't exist, it's a loop, it's not linear. Um, it has to balance. And it balances through lifetimes. And I've said to people when they're like, I don't understand, this person keeps attacking me, keeps attacking me. I'm like, oh, maybe you drowned their kids in a past life. Like, what? I'm like, do you think you were always the nice guy? Do you think you were never the villain in anybody's story? Maybe you did some real shitty to them in a past life. And now it's time to, I'm not saying you got to deal with it like that. I'm not saying you should allow abuse to happen, but just know maybe that weird, reasonless rage they have towards you could be a past life thing. It really could. Um, and now you're here in this lifetime to, again, achieve the balance. And I'm not saying that'd be your best friend, but I'm saying you'll figure it out. A little past life regression, maybe. We don't like to see. We want to do past life regressions, thinking about people that we love or romantic, or. But the fact is, a lot of our past lives were really shitty, and they're telling. So if you want to read a good book, if you haven't read Many Lives, Many Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss, it's one of my books I recommend for beginning reader list, but it's an excellent book and an entertaining and good book. So, and it's sometimes in the libraries, you can borrow it. You go to your local library, you can request it, they'll find it for you. It's a classic, but that book, that will change your life. It's one of those life-changing books. Many lives, many masters. Yep, Michelle's saying best book. It really is. Um, Thank you. Yeah, Daniel's saying the same thing. Yeah, it really is a good book. Um, what's really cool about it? It's rare we find books like this, but it's the story of how he became a past life regression. He's the father of modern day past life regression. So it's his story, it's his client stories, but there's anecdotal and then scientific data that go along with it. So it's just a really good read, but it's light and it's entertaining. It never gets slow or sluggish or really cool the way he blended that book together. He's written others, of course. He's on Facebook, Brian Weiss, and he is an MD. He's a medical doctor. I'll tell you really quick, who, as a psychiatrist, became not fascinated, but the idea of phantom pain, and that's where you're striking pain, but there's nothing, no MRI, no CAT, there's nothing there to cause pain, but it's stabbing pains, it's horrible pains, um, phobias, which are fears that have no basis in reason, like being in Ohio and terrified of the ocean, you know, um, weird fears that don't make sense. And then fatal attractions. Why two people who truly don't want to be together but keep getting thrown together through situations through a lifetime. It's I move away to get away from the person, and there they move down the street because they get transferred. It's like, how do I not get away from you? And he thought that to deal with this, as he studied these three situations, these three phenomena, um, he thought that if he became a hypnotherapist, a clinical hypnotherapist, that under hypnosis, the real reason, because there had to be a real reason for the phobia, for the phantom pain, would surface, the fatal attraction, and had to have a concrete reason. And he wasn't into any spiritual stuff. It was just a good man, but he really felt that there was a physiological reason for these things to be occurring, and under hypnosis, that would be disclosed. And so he did that. He became a clinically trained, hypnotherapist, and he put his first person under. And I'm paraphrasing. I'm not getting the story correct, but he goes under. She goes under, and he takes her, through a cycle, and begins asking her questions about the pain, because it was a phantom pain issue. And she begins talking, answering his questions in another language. And he's like, oh, cool. I didn't realize English is probably her second language. And because he realized she's speaking Greek, although he doesn't understand what she's saying, he discerns that it's Greek. So he's asking questions in English, she's answering in Greek, and it's being recorded. And when it's done, he brings her back around and says, hey, yeah, you didn't tell me to speak Greek. She's like, the hell are you talking about? And he's like, okay. And when he transcribed the tape, she basically told the story of being a Greek soldier, um, ancient times, taking a sword, a sword or through to the shoulder, and she carried that pain through lifetimes. And our bodies being whatever percent water they are, and we know that water holds memory. There's reason to understand how that could actually be a physiological truth. So he did this. He 10,000 past life regressions, and the stories are in the book, and it's really amazing stuff. And but again, we don't want to think about someone that we hate or someone that we regret ever getting to know, or But sometimes the past life regression is the best way to figure out, why that happened. I highly recommend finding someone who was trained by Brian Weiss. I know there's a couple in New York. Again, past life regressions won't be cheap, but they also will be exorbitantly expensive. If you could get someone who was trained by Dr. Weiss, that's something I plan to do at some point. I just haven't had a chance, and honestly, I don't have a lot to regress and figure out, so I'm not burning with that one. I have done regressions with Dr. Andrew Neblett, He's excellent. He's always really busy, but he's available, and he's an absolute hypnotherapist, and it's been very interesting. We used to do in my old store. We would do these group past life regressions, and we had 70 people one time. I had a really big space downstairs, and everyone came in like pajamas and sweats, and they brought their beanbag chairs and their lawn chairs. It was really cool, and the blankets, and we had a really cool time. I used to do spirit circles and different events, and it's funny, whenever we did spirit circles or anything to do with mediumship, I swear to God, it would end like a couple hours into it, 2, 3 hours. Everyone's phone would be drained, no battery, zero battery, and the room would literally be 10 degrees colder. It would drop. And it always made me think of the Sixth Sense when you see the temperature go down when there was a ghost present. I'm like, damn, they're not kidding with that. It just sucks all the energy and the heat and just boom. Doesn't hit, not the energy. It still was a good positive, but it was, damn, you couldn't miss it. You just couldn't not see that something amazing was happening. Knives, yep. I want to know more about her. I'm looking at this Angela. I'm not sure you're talking about. Kali? Again, Angela, if it's Kali that you're talking about, again, email me, lenhart@comcast.net. Write in the subject line Kali paper, because I wrote a really amazing paper on Kali Ma, and very helpful. I have it laminated. It's right up the Kali shrine in my store. So, all right, we're going to do some readings. We're going to be here about just yakking, literally all night long. Well, I don't mind that. We should probably do some readings, right? Mother. Let's start following. Okay. You're welcome. There's a lot of fear and a lot of myth around Kali that is not accurate or true. And in the 1970s, which we saw the big surge of Wicca in the 1970s, and feminists, women's livers, as they were known back in the day, it's Kali, Kali-Ma, Kali Ma. Anyway, women's livers, they embraced Kali, but they Americanized her. Big mistake. And she was like an icon for feminists because, Kali hates men and she steps on her husband and she devours men. And I'm like, that's right, Kim. Yes. Thank you. And nothing could be further from the truth. I've had men say to me, "Am I allowed to go near that shrine?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yes, of course." Yeah, but that really was she was the icon. She was the feminist, and so was Frida Kahlo, another one who, if anything, was abused by her husband terribly, but loved him dearly, and loved men, and she was bisexual, but she definitely. I have a book of poetry between her and a French lover that she had when she was divorced, and it's beautiful poetry, but she definitely did like men. But anyway, nothing could be further from the truth. You just approach Kali like a mother approaches a child, innocent. Understand that you're, anyway, I'm not gonna go into it because it's in the paper. Read the paper, okay? Frida, yeah. But it's like, what are you doing? She's powerful and strong and an amazing Mexican icon and the art and the history. But I've got books on Frida and I love her. But and if you've not seen the movie Frida, oh my God, what a great movie that is. But I don't know about feminist icon. What's funny is, as a young girl, she revered her father, and for several years, she insisted on dressing like a boy. She cut her hair short. She wore suits and ties and men's shoes, and she dressed very much like a boy, similar to, I think, Angelina's daughter, who did that too. and now wearing dresses. And Frida, of course, known for her husband encouraged her to dress in the traditional folk garb of Mexico, and she had wonderful outfits made for her. She had special shoes because one leg was much shorter than the other, and she was always in pain, chronic, and her art truly captured so much of that agony that she was in. Agony. So yeah, I just read a really cool book of there's a new book out, The Girls Club, I think it's called, the Old Hollywood Girls Club, something like that. But the different Marlene Dietrich, Dietrich and Garbo, I think they had a thing going, and then there was another actress, but there's a lot of lesbianism and a lot of yeah. I guess if you guys got my January newsletter, I wrote. God, I'm just gonna keep talking. I guess I will just keep talking. I wrote about the fact that our generation, and I'm either the very last boomer or the very first Gen Xer. I fall right in that line there, but we just didn't care. Like we had this. We didn't call it non-binary. We called it androgyny. For God's sakes, I used to wear my uncle's Vietnam jacket, army jacket to school with my little Abner boots on and my jeans, and I was never a big one for a lot of makeup. Back like when I was a sophomore in high school, big tomboy. But not, I mean, but a lot of girls were tomboys. A lot of girls like a lot of girls. I'm always like playing with my animals or outside. I love playing kickball and being outside and running and climbing trees and it just. But we had so many actors and David Bowie and Prince and they certainly were androgynous and we never. I don't remember ever thinking, oh, that's so weird, or nobody said that. They do forget about Freddie Mercury, who was booed off stage so many times, and he certainly had a hard road. Elton John, they embrace their feminine aspects, and when you've got women like Katie Lang, that. But I don't remember anybody ever saying, oh, and I travel in many circles. I mean, I didn't always own my shop, and then that's what it was in high school, and I don't know. I just don't understand why it's such a big deal right now. I don't understand why it's got to be in our face like this. Why? And as I wrote in my newsletter, and I'll stand by these words, I don't care if you got 3 dicks. I keep them in your pants. I don't want to know how they got there. I need to see them. I don't even know about them. Just, it's good for you. Yay. Bravo. Big dick energy, I guess. I don't know. But that's, I don't, oh my goodness. Yes, and actually many Indian people are very reverent and many do not have Kali in their home. Lakshmi is for feminine. Yep, big friggin' deal. It's like, I just want to yawn. It's like as someone's going on about pronouns, and it's like, what is it? What is the pronoun? I'll use it. Just tell me. No one's got a problem with it. Tell us. And it's okay. It's really okay. I'm not just paying lip service. I've got trans friends. Just, and then, God, I got a lot of gay friends. What bothers me, just keep talking forever. When I worked for the state, I'm going to tell a really quick story. When I worked for the state, I worked as the AIDS crisis was bursting on the scene. And it was a nightmare. It was a fucking nightmare. And people who worked in hairdressing, people who worked, and if I'm so sorry if I'm hurting anyone for bad memories, because these were awful, awful memories. And I worked for the state, I worked in Department of Health, but my boss across her desk, they were sending plans to build whole wards on the hospitals to isolate these people who had this disease known as the gay man's disease. And then lesbians began getting it and straight women began getting it. And then everyone was in a panic and they couldn't get phlebotomists. Doctors were like reneging on their Hippocratic oath. It was a bad time. And people died. And then people were dropping like flies and no one knew why. And it was horrible. And at the same time this was going on, People were abandoning babies that were HIV positive. They were having babies and abandoning them in the hospitals. Droves, droves of babies, thousands of babies. It was awful. And human babies if, are creatures that, without human touch, they perish. Babies must have skin to skin contact. And anyone who's had a baby, the first thing they do is they put the baby on the chest and immediate bonding if possible, if at all possible. And so without that, no one was touching these babies because of course I had this unknown horrible disease. And so who stepped up to adopt the babies? You know who stepped up? Gay couples, gay men, people who they said we will take the babies, okay, and they did, and of course the people were like okay because they took the medical care, and it's like they were going to die anyway, right? So problem solved, and here we have lovely couples taking these babies with a death, except what happened was not all the babies died. In fact, a huge number of them were not HIV positive 3 years later. But I'll tell you what it did for me. I want to say I was like 19 years old at the time going through this. And not that I've always been pro gay rights, so just know that. But I thought to myself, if anybody should be able to adopt a baby, if anyone, it's someone who wants a baby so badly that they would take a baby that was going to die just to have a baby, just to have a baby. So the idea that what really bothers me as we see this minor attracted persons and as we see their flag that mimics my dear friend Susan Engstrom has talked about this, like that's not the gay flag, and why does it look like it? Done in the pastels, minor attracted persons, the MAPs, and is that they are eroding and damaging what gay people have worked so hard for, the right to marry, the right to adopt. No, that and that needs to not be dropped at the feet. And where are the feminists? Where are people, coming out and saying if a group of lesbians cannot meet and say we're lesbians, we're not non-men attracted. No, we're not. We're lesbians. We're women who like women. And they shouldn't get beat up because they want to have a meeting and not have biological men present. I'm sorry. No. So there's a tiny subgroup. It's a small group, but that's always the loudest group that is making it so hard on communities that have worked so hard and done the work to achieve and to have their freedom and have their rights. That to go backwards is unthinkable. And I remember Kevin Spacey, that fuck, came out because he had assaulted young actors on the set, and he said, "Well, I was going through a time when I was gay and I didn't know when I was coming out." And the whole gay community said, "Don't even go there. Don't even. That is not a part of being gay. Okay, not a part of it." And we have to step up and say, "No, nope, can't go there. Can't do that. That leaves children out of it." And anything else is unthinkable. Okay. All right. Anyway, I'm just looking at everything else. Horrible time. I'm just looking at some of the comments here. Yep. Well, it's stirring the pot because it's distracting us from what's going on in the world, which is some very awful things. And yeah, it's distraction. But it's a good one, man. I mean, chef's kiss. When it comes to distractions, they picked one that would really divide. And I'm not trying to add a division. I'm trying to say there's a small group. People I know, trans folk I know, the parents of trans kids I know, they want none of this. They just want to be left alone to do their thing, privacy. They don't want any part of this shit. Hey, sweetheart. All right. Hey, baby. Daisy's home from work. I want to talk to you. All right. Well, that's my readings now. All right, I'm going to start my readings now. So let's start with Pisces. Oh, baby. Daniel, you have no idea. No idea. And I will take to the street. I had no part of that pea hat bullshit parade stuff 4 or 5 years ago. I thought that was ridiculous. And where are your pea hats now, ladies? Huh? Where's your pea hats when they're slaughtering women in Iran? Slaughtering them because they want to show their hair. Huh? Or be educated. Where are your pea hats now? Where are the feminists? Huh? I have no trouble. I want to let the people in charge, the officials, handle it. But when it comes to sports, you've got trans women playing sports that there's not just winning, they're setting records that women can't break. They're setting records women can't break because they're physically stronger. And they talk about like the swimming thing. It's like, oh, it was only by so many seconds. It's like, but that's how swimming is. It's nanoseconds sometimes. But what we allow is what will continue. And I'm not sure. I'm really oriented. I'm not sure how drag got involved in any of this, because drag is performance art. Drag and straight men do drag, and then drag is hundreds of years, thousands of years old. Japanese kabuki, Shakespeare. Those were all men dressed as women because there were no women actors. So I don't know how drag became part of any of this. I don't understand why. Just me personally, I love kids. I have no desire to read to kids in the library. I mean, none. I wouldn't dress up as a witch and read them on Halloween. I don't like scaring people, I don't want to be that person. Not that I don't love my witch clothes, but I do. But that wouldn't be something for me. I would want a bunch of heavy metal, musicians who I like, and I want them reading the kids. So I don't understand why drag queens want to do it. What's the purpose of that? What are you gonna read the kids for? Just what's that about? All right, I'm done. Okay. I'm tired of people trying to normalize bullshit. How's that? I'm really tired of it, and I hate it in magic. I always swing it back around to witchcraft, and I'll swing it back around. I am tired of the bullshit, people pretending things not true, people making shit up about stones, and like, the fuck are you talking about? It's like, oh, you can't buy your own tarot cards. I've never heard that. Been reading since I was a kid. I mean, some of this is like you're making it up. You're making it up. Stop it. All right, Pisces. Here we go. Yeesh. All right, Pisces. We start with the Knight of Swords. Strength reversed. Wheel of Fortune reversed. The Hierophant reversed. The Chariot reversed. And the King of Coins reversed. All right, well, that just sucks ass. The Knight of Swords is usually bringing in problems, illnesses, and strong communication. Okay, Knight of Swords, because swords is air, air is communication, right? That's something really sucking the wind out of your sails, Pisces. Struggling to move forward, struggling financially. Now, this also could be read that you may have a husband or father who's not able to work right now. That King of Coins reversed. Like have someone out of work who's been sick. Again, strength reversed. Really challenging. Hard to move forward. Hard to figure out what you're going to do. Hierophant reversed. Unconventional. If it's an illness, it's something that's not easily treated. Hard to find a reason for the illness. I'm going to throw one more card. Nine of Cups reversed. That's not good. One more card. Three of Swords reversed. A lot of anxiety. Okay, that's not good either. One more card. Four of Swords. Respite, retirement. Okay, someone may be forced into early retirement. maybe a long recuperation period. If it's you personally having a health issue, it's nothing that's going to be resolved easily. Getting to work could be a struggle. You may need to find alternative ways to work. Please don't. Come on. I don't see financial failure here. Be clear about that, or death. Okay. I'm seeing eventual recuperation, but it's a long recuperation. Yeesh, this is as bad as cancer. Okay, stop. Orlando, come here. Come here, buddy. Don't scream. When I read cancer last week, that was pretty awful. And some people wrote to me and said, that was rough. I'm like, it was rough. And okay, Orlando, come here. I'm sorry, guys, because he's just going to scream his head off. Come on, buddy, let's go. But that's what they read. That's how the cards read. I can't alter that. I even tried because I threw some extra cards. I can't. Okay, I'm gonna 1 second. Stay. Don't go. I'm gonna quickly feed him something because he's just gonna scream like a moron. Okay, thank you, idiot. Get through this little narrow place here. Fun. So you want to be an asshole? Could you not? Could you just not? Okay. Here. Come on. Get your cookie. Get your cookie. Go on. Where are you? All right, stop. I woke up to the sound of him screaming. He decided he wanted a bath this morning. And not just any bath, he wanted a big bath. He wanted a really big bath. He wanted, usually I spray him in the morning when it's warm. And he decided he wanted to bathe in his water bowl. He wanted, now he just wants to be an asshole. Trust me, Brian. Oh, that sound is rough, man. When he screams, he's got a few different calls, but that one is, you walk by him and literally your ears ring. So, all right, Pisces. All right. I guess the only thing is like whatever's going on, it's just a long road to recovery. Okay, that's all. All right. Aquarius. Hangman reversed. The 10 of coins reversed. The Fool reversed. The Moon. The Page of Wands reversed. And Temperance reversed. What the hell is up with the cards? You saw me, I was shuffling forever. Every time I said a new rant or a new talk, I would stop shuffling, but I was literally shuffling in between each of those subject changes. Waste of time, feeling you're wasting your time, wasting. Ten of coins reverse, Fool reverse, wanting to buy a home, real estate. Page of Wands reverse. Man, this is Aquarius really looking at what their career and where they are in life, and feeling very, very disenchanted. Okay, things out of balance. Not moving forward. Really stuck. Six of Swords reversed. The desire to relocate, the desire to move, money's not there. It almost feels like Aquarius wants to get away from something. Something or someone. Fool reversed. Yeah. One more card. Six of Cups. The idea of going home. All right. Well, that's happening a lot. It's happening in the readings that people are, I can't believe I'm 42 years old and going to live home with my parents, or, my parents are coming to live with me. It's happening. Families are having to, it's not the end of the world, guys. It really isn't. And wow, Okay, Kim. I just read a really cool article about how it's interesting how classism plays into this. In wealthy families, the idea of generational wealth, estates, um, compounds where family all lives together, is seen as wonderful and traditional. But with families in middle class and poor families, you're 18, you should be on your own, you should be out there with your own place, you should be out there making your own way. It's funny how we have different expectations. And I read it was a really good article on that idea. I'm like, damn, who says that? Yes, I've always said kids should be on their own and they should have some independence and know what it's like to pay their own bills. But right now in this environment, when things are in such flux, and yeah, and then it may just be a matter of moving home so you can save the money to make that next move. It may be that you need to do something to, you know, get some breathing room. Okay. It's just that idea of I've wasted my time. I'm wasting my time. I'm not where I want to be. I don't know how, and again, I don't see any way out. I don't see any way to get where I want to be. This idea of relocation, again, it's reversed, Six of Swords reversed, um, out of balance. Yeah, that could be the answer. And yeah, one more card there for Aquarius. Two of Wands. All right, I like that. Partnership, opportunity. It could be an opportunity too that you can take if you move home, that you can actually make a little less money, but to do something very different. Sometimes that's the problem when you change careers, is that you're leaving a career that you're established in, but now you've got to go back and an entry level sort of thing or building a business. It takes time. Like I always say, I didn't pay myself for 5 years. I've invested everything right back in the store. So, you know, moving home is a way to, make sure you can do that. Okay. Oof. All right, Kim. Yeah. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy. And hopefully, in the case of Aquarius, and in this case, it's moving home into a situation where you're not taken care of, but being part of a family means everyone takes care of it, right? All right. Capricorn. Capricorn, the Page of Swords, the Ace of Cups, the Nine of Swords reversed, the Queen of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the King of Wands reversed. Intriguing. Okay. Well, the Page of Swords is new communication. And I love the Ace of Cups. Something very loving, something very kind, something that ends a lot of anxiety. I want to say if you've been worried about one of your kids, this is Queen of Cups here, maternally. Um, Maybe you've been working a lot of hours. Maybe you're worried that you're not there for your kids enough. I think you're gonna get the verbal okay, like mom, I'm okay, or I know you've been busy. I'm all right. I can take care of myself. I feel like maybe people are saying, oh, you work so many hours. You're not there. God knows I heard that. But my point is, I want to say you might be getting that verbal acknowledgement, like I'll be okay, um, which is really cool. And I'm seeing an end to anxiety. If there's something, if you feel like you just can't stretch yourself thin enough, and again, know that feeling. I feel like it's okay, all right? And I think you're going to get an actual. Wow, are you kidding me with that? Come here, buddy. Come see me. Hello. All right. And people have been saying things to you. The person you need to hear it from is the kid themselves, right? And it looks like that's. And I'm seeing a kid who's happy, adjusted, and really all right. Come here. Come here. Come say hi. Come here. Well, now you're wet because you wanted that, but come here. Orlando, come. Come on, buddy. I got things to do. Come here. Come. mind. Okay, you know what? Don't come here. Reverse psychology. Don't come here. I don't want you to come here. Ew, a bird. Don't come here. Ew. I would hate if that bird landed on me. Please continue screaming. Delightful sound. He does. You know, he says hello. He says Orlando. And my son Roy, when he finally worked up the nerve, you're welcome, Rosemary. When he finally worked up the nerve to have it, one day I came downstairs and my kids are terrified of this bird. I come downstairs and I'm like, oh my God, and Orlando was on his shoulder. He's like, yeah, I gotta make friends with him, Mom. I've been scared of like for 7 years. I've been terrified of this bird. I'm like, okay. And then, periodically he'd land on Roy's shoulder because he loves Roy. But Roy came, he's like, what he did? I said, what? He goes, Mom, he called me an asshole. Like, what? He goes, Mom, he was sitting on my shoulder and he leaned over in my ear and he was like, asshole. I'm like, okay, nice. So every now and then that's how he really feels about the peons and the peasants. They're just servants to him. All right. Sagittarius. You guys have been getting nailed lately. And I gotta say too, a lot of Sages coming in the store past couple of days. Now that I'm off that extra day, today feels like a Thursday. And so I have to correct myself because I was like, I'm there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No, I'm there Thursday, Friday, doing my reading. So, but yeah, a lot of Sages. Damn. Okay. Sag. In keeping with the readings, the Star reversed, the Nine of Wands, the Eight of Wands reversed, the King of Swords reversed, the Five of Coins reversed, the Knight of Coins reversed. All right, so this is a simple read. Disappointment, hopelessness, sense of never going to work out, right? What do we do? Well, if you're a Sag, you focus on creative pursuits and work and making money. That's what you do. And these cards are saying that. The Eight of Wands reverse, focus on work. The Nine of Wands, wands are creativity, entrepreneurship, business. And so what are we doing? We're looking at new bridges to cross, new opportunities. Okay, I'm not in that relationship. That's not going to happen. This thing I want isn't going to work out. Okay, so now I'm going to refocus all this energy that was given to this thing over here on this. And the Sag being fire, that's how they operate. Five of Coins reversed. That's right. This idea of okay, I'm gonna make some coin, find new ways to make money. I gotta say, the only thing I don't like here is I don't like this King of Swords reversed. I don't like one of two things. Is one, don't let it make you bitter, which is a weird thing for a Sag because they're ruled by Jupiter, the most optimistic planet in the solar system. But also it may be also Sag saying this person's not going to change, so I'm not going to try anymore. I'm giving up. I'm going to focus on my career. I'm going to focus on making money. I'm going to focus on being artistic. Anything but dealing with that. Okay? And that's not great, but that's how these cards read. Disappointment, channeling energy, but there's a certain sense of, well, that's not going to happen. I'm giving up. And for the most optimistic sign of the zodiac to say, I'm giving up on you, makes me think of that, Christina Aguilera song, which I love. Say something. I'm giving up on you. That song breaks my heart. That's exactly the theme of this reading right here. But just to say something, I've given up on you. I've given up. I'm moving on. Okay? All right. Scorpio. Scorpio. Okay, Miss J. Alrighty. Scorpio, 3 of Coins, great card for money. 7 of Coins, Three of Cups reversed, Eight of Swords, the Devil, Six of Wands. Man. So sometimes the cards read like a story. They should, right? This is doing what you got to do to make the money, okay? Do what you got to do to make the money. And in this case, it really is, I'm seeing celebration, but maybe Three of Coins, great money card, right? Seven of Coins, you're thinking of other ways to make money. Three of Cups reversed, Eight of Swords, yeesh. Devil, yeesh. Six of Wands. You know, it's like having to work your way through piles of horse shit, hoping to find a pony. Really, it's like really being in a toxic environment. I don't think everything around you toxic, but this sense of despair, this sense of this is I got to get out of here, and you will. Six of Wands has you getting out of there, being promoted out of there, but really not loving your environment, making the money that you got to make. How else can I make money? How can I get promoted out of here? What can I do different? This isn't going to change. Certain industries don't. Teachers, like I said about a month ago, I had a teacher in tears, literally crying in my room because she had a job lined up for the fall, fell through, and she was just saying, "I can't go back. I can't go back into my classroom." Right? A lot of people with master's degrees tending bar right now, as I said, but it's true. And in this case, it really is. What else? Because the industry, it's like really having a terribly. Nurses are going through it. Anyone in the medical profession is going through it. Teachers are going through it. Realtors are going through it too, but in a different way, because that whole environment is changing, especially if we're dealing with like mortgages and the brokerage part of it. That's really changing fast. But it really is. It's like I'll make the money while I can. I'll put on the hazmat suit. You know, this is like doing something very unpleasant. But while I'm figuring out how I'm going to make money, and you will, it looks like you get promoted out of there. All right? Yeesh. All right, Libra. Libra's been turning around a little bit. They went through a really rough few months there. I think it's getting a little better for Libra. Let's see. Seven of Wands reversed. Five of Swords reversed. The High Priestess. The Eight of Coins reversed. The Master. And the Lovers reversed. Okay, so like I always say, many signs that are conjunct, there are similarities, and conjunct means next to each other. That's an astrological term. We see similarities, but it's different. And in this case, what I see is, where Scorpio is in a toxic environment, they want to get it. I'm seeing like Libra maxing out. Like I've done this, I got this, I've mastered this. I'm kind of bored of this. That's that Eight of Coins reverse. Not feeling motivated by your work anymore. The Lovers reverse. I'm not sure I love this anymore. Well, the master, you're good at what you do, and he's tired of it. The Five of Swords reverse. The Seven of Wands reverse. Now, again, we talked about this earlier. This idea of maybe changing career at the top of your career, starting over in something, entry level is not possible for many people. It's just you just can't go entry level salary. And this idea of either not working in the field you were trained in, or what do I go back to school for? Like when you're in your 50s, you go back to college. What are you going now there is a possibility of getting your master's degree might benefit you to elevate you. Again, this idea of elevating into the career field. I'm not sure it's what you want to do anymore. So the Seven of Wands reverse is like I would go to school, but I don't know what I want. I don't want what I want to do. The Five of Swords reverse is interesting, and for me, that always speaks to going to an expert, seeking out professional advice and taking it. So it is literally like seeking out. if you have an idea of what you want to do, finding people who are doing it and how they did it, how they got their start, reading books about it. I read so many business books before I opened my business, and Talisman was my fourth business, but I always reading business books. This idea of I think you've got a good idea, Libra, the High Priestess. Your instincts are good. I just I think there is some training, and I think there is some aspect of you need to speak to professionals in the field to find out how you move to that next level or how you make that move over. Okay, but these cards speak to being, again, not motivated, not really loving what you do. And I want to say it really is work. It's not. It could be both. It could be a relationship and work. I mean, it could be double jeopardy. Libra's a dual sign after all. I don't think so. I think the issue really is that it's affecting your love life, maybe. But the idea of being not motivated by how you earn money. The 8 of coins. Coin is money. So I think it's more of a career thing. Again, I'm looking at 7 of wands. Wands a career thing. You're good at what you do. I just don't think you want to do it anymore. All right? Or you need to do it a different way, or you need to do it at a way that lets you, again, elevate, where you're making more money and doing it different. All right? All right. Virgo. You're welcome, Mr. Michelle, I want to say one thing. It just reminded me of something some of the mediums I work with have told me. If you want to get a message from him, write something, write it out on a piece of paper and ask him out loud. When you're speaking to spirit, you got to say it out loud. You can't just think it in your head. Out loud. Can you please give me an answer in a dream? Come to me in my dream. Give me an answer. Right? If you have a question or you want clarity, and then put it under your pillow. And very often you'll get your answer that way. Okay? Something to think about and to try. All right, Virgo. Page of Coins reversed. 10 of Swords reversed. Page of Cups reversed. 2 of Swords. Queen of Swords reversed. King of Cups reversed. Jesus Christ. All right. I'm not swearing. I'm asking for help. Oh, God. Well, first of all, my first thought that when looking at this is it feels to me like Virgo is either being confronted with a highly dysfunctional family situation that is so twisted, both in terms of financial need, which holds everyone together, often does. I'm looking at the depressed children. I'm looking at angry mother. I'm looking at possibly alcoholic father or depressed father. I'm looking at Virgo looking for the way out. Could be environmental. It could be a neighborhood situation or an area of the country you're in that just looks, unless you've lived in a truly impoverished and I know a lot of folks have gone down south expecting better, and they bought their great houses and so inexpensive, and then they found out alcoholism in Vermont. Vermont is like so bucolic and beautiful. Yeah, and their alcoholist rate and is insane. It's insane up there. And this is Virgo. Like, how do I get out of this shit? How do I get the hell away from this? It doesn't feel, I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't feel to me that Virgo is the problem here. And maybe Virgo got involved thinking they could help. All right. And I think to some extent Virgo did help. 10 of Swords reversed. I think you pulled people out of a free fall, right? And then bottom of the barrel, hitting the bottom of the barrel on the way up. Maybe this is a brother or a sister that's going through this. It doesn't feel like it's Virgo. This isn't a classic Virgo problem. Virgo doesn't do this. Pisces does this. They're polar opposite. But Virgo doesn't do this. Virgo doesn't wander into the swamp. Virgo doesn't walk into the La Brea tar pits. You know, I'm going to help you. Oh, I'm stuck in the tar. That's a Pisces thing, not a Virgo thing. Virgo stands at a respectful distance and with a big stick and says, "Here, I got a bag of lunch for you." You know, I'm not getting in the tar. Sorry. Virgo's way too smart for that. Way too grounded. But I want to say this, it looks like a situation to me that Virgo, probably an extended family thing, maybe a brother, a sister, cousin that you thought you could help, thought you could, and again, I think you did, but I think at this point you're like, okay, they are way too needy, and this is way beyond me, and I'm not their social worker. I get a sense Virgo wants out. Virgo wants to like back away, and they will, and they will. One more card just for some clarity. Emperor reversed. Yeah, this is if you thought you were going to go in there as Santa Claus or a hero or rescue them, again, not like Virgo. I shouldn't say that. Virgo can be guilty of a Jesus complex. Yes, they can. Yeah, because they are smart and they do have answers. Hey, Carmen. But I want to say, if you thought you could take over the role or help your brother out or your sister out, you're gonna, you can't. You can't. And I think we were talking about it earlier in this dialogue here. You can't. And a lot of Virgos, because they often take care of the parent. This could actually be your own parents, by the way. Virgo often steps in as the mother or father to the parent. That's common for Virgo. Okay, Laura. Breathe. But, oof, yeah, the Virgo child caring for the adult parent is a common thing. You can't. All right, I think Virgo's coming at that conclusion. All right? All right. Leo. And again, like I always say, does that mean every Virgo is different? No, but maybe you've got a best friend or someone you know who's going through that. So if it's something on your mind or something to think like, wow, I'm glad I'm not in that situation. Well, I want to say the only answer is to back away. Walk away from it. Because the more you do, the more they need and the more dependent they become. All right? And then you're just the person filling the bird feeder, So filling the bird feeder for the birds, and you know what? It's summer, and you're still feeding the bird feeder because the birds can't feed on their own. They depend on you now. So, all right, Leo, Ten of Cups reversed, Judgment reversed, the Tower, the Empress, the Four of Coins, and the Knight of Wands. Wow. So this is a little bit like Capricorn, but not really. Is Leo in Capricorn? No, Leo and Aquarius are the opposites. Okay. I want to say, first of all, Leo, I'm not sure you're happy where you're living. That Ten of Cups reversed has you emotionally not happy. Okay. Pisces was the first one we did, Carmen. We're on the. But this gets posted up again. This gets posted on Facebook, and you can watch it, and then just fast forward if you want to get through all the yacky yak that we did today, and get to Pisces. It's the very first readings I started doing. All right. So, Leo, I'm not sure you're happy where you are living. I want to say you're suspecting you made an error in judgment. Okay. The Tower, chaos around you, inflicted upon you, I have to say. And the Empress, which is a Taurus card, but it also to me is Leo as well, the Queen. The Four of Coins, how can I make more money? And the Knight of Wands, more creative opportunities coming in. I love that. But I want to say it's not the career stuff that bothers me, it's the emotional stuff that bothers me. And it all centers around home for you, Leo. This idea of something or someone bringing you a lot of chaotic energy, destructive energy. Yeah, the Six of Coins reversed. There's bills to pay. but it feels like someone's, again, done something and now, oh, okay, that's going to cost me, you know? Might be one of your own kids, actually. It might actually be a kid that's like, well, I gotta cough up money for this now. Maybe your kid got in some trouble or got in a car accident. But it feels very chaotic, and or you have to hire a lawyer. It doesn't feel that bad, but it does feel like there's an expense here that, okay, I gotta deal with that now. Yeah. One more card. Three of Wands reversed. Okay, it also could be the kid could have dropped off to school. And it's like, okay, well, now we got to think about paying back student loans. Or, I mean, if they're out of school 6 months, the loans come due. That's how that goes. This idea of getting a kid maybe dropped out or doesn't want to go to school or change of plans. It isn't so much. It feels like, again, it's the idea, okay, I've got to figure out how I'm going to pay for that now, right? But that Three of Wands reversed is usually, well, usually when it shows up, if someone's dropped out of school, doesn't want to go back to school. It feels like it's a kid. It really feels like it's a kid, Leo. It's bringing something in that's like, well, I gotta deal with this now, right? Yeah. All right, Cancer. All right, Cancer. It is 12:18. Oh my God. All right, Cancer. Queen of Coins reversed. Ace of Coins reversed. Eight of Cups reversed. Ace of Wands. Five of Wands reversed. And Justice reversed. Okay, Cancer. Well, Well, long story short, with Cancer, it's like it's an unfair situation. I can't get away from it because can't move away from it. Eight of Cups reversed. Can't get away from it. Money is the reason. You're tired of arguing about it, tired of talking about it, tired of the debating. You're off the hamster wheel. We're not discussing this anymore. We can't move. We can't go. Not fair. Sorry. I tell you, it's funny. I see this a lot, where two people are, one wants to retire, one doesn't want to retire. One wants to retire to like Vermont, one wants to retire to Florida. Let's see. This, but I want to say it's like wherever you want to go, we can't do that. We can't afford it right now. And Cancer is just like, it's not fair. It doesn't seem fair, but this is how it is. I gotta say, though, it doesn't feel like it's an end of a relationship, or it's just we're just not. Cancer's just like, we're just not talking about it anymore. We're not discussing it. It's off the table. We can't do it. End of story. Cancer is, and I'll tell you what Cancer. I always think of Mr. Krabs, on SpongeBob, because cancers can be tight with the money, and cancers, male or female, they usually control the money. They like money. Cancer and Taurus can get along very well like that. They enjoy stretching a penny, and when Cancer says no, it's no. And you may be dealing with someone that's telling you no and not liking it, or maybe you're the Cancer who is saying no. We literally can't afford to do that, and it feels like a move. Eight of Cups reversed is usually the desire to leave home, to go, And I'm like, no, you can't. Might be a vacation this summer that you've talked about, or it could just be the idea of relocating and moving. But either way, it's like, no. All right, and okay, I'm not going to beat it. Of course, that's what it says. That's Cancer. All right, Gemini. Okay, Gemini. We have the Two of Coins, Ten of Wands, Death, Four of Cups, Seven of Cups reversed, Nine of Coins reversed. Sure. Well, my first look at these cards, to me, is Gemini, of course, is the idea sign. They really are. They're the idea sign. And I want to say maybe Gemini had an idea for a sideline business. Maybe Gemini, and I think that realistically it's not going to happen. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to be doing that. Again, conjunct to, help me, Cancer, saying, no, we can't afford that. In this case, it's Gemini saying, yeah, this isn't going to be solvent. This financially just won't fly. Okay? Juggling money, the Two of Coins, a lot of pressure. I just, there comes a point too where you're throwing good money after bad. Death card. And I think this is just Gemini, but then Gemini is very practical, they're air sign, right? It's like, it ain't gonna work, my brother's a Gemini, and he's had some great ideas, and I remember one of it, he was buying mini bike kits. He loves bikes, loves work on a bike, and like my son, your head, and he was going to put these mini bikes together, get the kits, and sell them. And it was a great idea, but I remember expenses and time didn't measure out to profit. And that's what I'm seeing here, the Gemini. It's like, it looked good on paper. Four of Cups, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to do this? I really look at the profit loss statement here. I really look at what I'm going to make. Do I want to do this? What's my margins? What else can I do? Because that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing for Gemini. You might have had a good idea. I don't think you invested. I think it was an idea. Gemini's full of ideas, and there's another idea rolling right behind it. I shared on my storyline the story of whiteout. I had no idea. If you don't know the history of whiteout, that liquid when they used to have typewriters, and God, I was the whiteout queen back in the day. I could white out, and you would never know anything was ever. But anyways, because yes, I was on the typewriter when I first started back in caveman days when I rode my brontosaurus to the office. Anyway, but the story of whiteout, the woman who created that because she was so sick of retyping pages, and she wound up a $47 million idea. A really cool thing. And I tell you, I bet she was a Gemini. But anyways, I shared that. But just look at the story of whiteout. Really cool story. And the mother, oh my God, and she was the mother of one of the Monkees, the band The Monkees from the 60s. So cool thing. All right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All those extra cards I threw. I'm gonna do me in here. All right, so we have Taurus. Almost done, guys. Wrapping it up here. Taurus, the sun. Bravo. 5 of Cups. Queen of Wands reversed. 2 of Cups. The World reversed. 4 of Wands. Hey. God, help me. These are the weirdest cards ever. So the sun is, as I always say to you, the sun and the stars are the best cards in the deck, as long as it's not reversed. And there we have the sun shining on a situation. We have Taurus crying over spilt milk, something that Queen of Wands reversed. World reversed. 4 of Wands. Friendship. What the hell are you mourning? This is hard work paying off. This is two people want the same thing. This is, what this reminds me of for Taurus? This is not a terrible thing. But they say you gotta be careful what you ask for, because you might just get it. Well, this is Taurus, and Taurus loves money. Taurus loves investments. Taurus loves financial security. Nothing wrong with that. But this is Taurus getting what they asked for and having no time. It's like I got what I wanted, and now I'm too busy to enjoy my life. That's exactly how this reads. Because I'm looking at 4 of Wands, which is a wonderful success card. 2 of Cups. Yep, we both wanted this. The sun. We're getting everything we wanted, and but it's changed our lives. And it's like having great car in the driveway and beautiful home, and you could travel, but you have no time to do it. Um, Terrible problem to have, by the way. Awful. I have all this money and I can't. But seriously, that's what it reads like. It's like we worked hard for it. It's what we wanted, but now it's like, oh, and now everything's changed and people change. Success changes people. So I want to say, you can lose yourself in the work. There is some sense of regret, and when life was simpler and easier, right? I don't know. That's interesting. Those are interesting cards, I gotta say. Let me shuffle really quick for Aries. I've got like 2 cards here. I've got all those clarifying cards. It starts to get. I run out of cards. And I know some people recite. Someone says, you don't shuffle the deck again for each. I'm like, no, I don't, because it's all lined up there. I don't need to do that. Just waste more time. All right, Aries, my dears. What's going on with you? Aries, every Aries I know has had a fucking problem. No, and I mean that in terms of just like really, man. It's like if it wasn't for bad luck, they'd have no luck at all. Shit. Nice talk, I know. Sometimes I swear it's like I have Tourette's in these readings. My private readings are like, how do you really feel? Let me tell you how I really feel. Okay, Aries. Well, the Knight of Cups, the Ace of Swords reversed, the Hermit reversed, the 2 of Coins, the 10 of Coins reversed, and the Page of Cups. Wow. Wow. Okay. Profound. Let's dissect. Well, I mean, the Knight of Cups is love. Love coming in, love flowing, love is it's a nice card. Knight of Cups. Ace of Swords reversed, and the Hermit reversed. I want to say this is Aries doing something that Aries rarely does. Aries, the White Knight, male and the female. The White Knight, you're the first one to go into battle for the bully, and the first one to, help. And like I say, the soldier, the warrior, got EMS drivers, anyone who drives an ambulance, emergency, if they're in medicine, they're in the emergency room. Aries, firefighters, police officers, that's Ariesville. That's Aries land right there. Aries takes care of other people. Well, guess what Aries doesn't do very well? Take care of themselves. Aries does a really shitty job. And in addition, Aries finds people that will drain them further often. And so that's just great for Aries, right? So I'm looking at Aries, and I'm looking at Aries, Ace of Swords, not talking, and the Hermit reversed, isolating themselves. I'm done talking. I'm taking care of me. Okay, I gotta focus in on me. I gotta come first, right? 2 of Coins, juggling money. 10 of Coins reversed. Home has become an issue, and it's all about money in the home, right? And we have the Page of Cups again. That sense of, I don't think this is going to go away. I don't think this is something new for. I think Aries is actually, and I've been talking a lot about this, that we have to be selfish. It's not wrong to put yourself first. Like they say on the airplane, you got to put your eye mask on and then the kids. You're like, no, I'll save my children. No, you won't, because if you pass out because you got no air, now you're passed out and your kids have no air, idiot. And that is something Aries would do, right? I love you, but a young Aries, an unevolved Aries, but time beats up Aries to the point that you can't do that, Aries. You got to take care of yourself. This is Aries learning some hard, but this is something that's not going to go away. Like Aries isn't going to forget this. And The idea that I'm in a tough spot right now, but I'm taking care of me, and I'm done talking, and I'm done dealing with, and I'm done. Again, that hermit reverse is very telling because that's the choosing isolation. Hermit upright is loneliness, feeling isolated. But the hermit reverse is choosing it. Oh no, honey, I'm done. The door is closed. Okay, we're not doing that anymore. Okay, the food pantry is empty. We're done. I'm not feeding the neighbors. I'm taking care of me now. Right? Do what I got to do to keep roof over my head and food in my refrigerator. And again, this idea of self-love, self-promotion, self-care, which Aries is traditionally so bad at. It ain't going away. This is a life lesson. And all these months of Aries being beat up so badly, and the struggles with career, and the betrayals that we've seen in the readings over the past 6 months. Okay, hiccups. Is something that has transformed Aries. And yeah, I like it. I like it. You know what, Aries? One more card for you. Queen of Swords. Woo! So Queen of Swords. Now, some readers, I am not one of them, call the Queen of Swords the bitch card. Swords is air, air is communication, and the Queen of Swords speaks her truth. It's unvarnished. First of all, I hate the word bitch. A bitch is a female dog in Eve. So women are not bitches. I hate that word because that's a dog, right? But the Queen of Swords is discerning. You ask her what her opinion, she's going to tell you. Now that is Aries, by the way. You want the truth. Talk to a drunk, a toddler, or an Aries, because they are going to unvarnish, probably hurt your feelings, but there it is. But this is Aries really holding it back and really reining it in and saying, yeah, you know what? Angela is funny, and good for you. So. Well, everyone needs to stop doing that. Stop putting yourself last. And you can't pour from an empty pitcher. So take it from Laura. But this Queen of Swords, excellent, excellent, excellent. You'd think swords would be a Aries thing, but and technically it is, but swords are actually an air thing. The Queen of Wands is more fire. But in this case, this is Aries really honing it down. You want my opinion? I'm not giving my opinion unless you want it. You really want it? You sure you want it? Very scorpionic, by the way. You sure you want it? Because I'm going to give it to you straight up, man. All right. I like it. Aries. Badass. All right. Love you all. It is very, very late. It's 12:35 here in Connecticut. Thank you again. YouTube comes up, I think, tomorrow, so you can watch it again. And thank you, Angela. Love you too. And let's see. And then on Facebook, it's usually an hour, and then it's loaded up and it's up. So you can watch it. It stays on, so if you want to watch it again. Thanks to everyone out there who listens to this and doesn't say anything. I know a lot of you don't. And but I've had a lot of folks tell me that they play cards, they listen to the video. It's part of their Friday nights. And I love that. Or it's a big, so I appreciate you. I really do. That's why I keep saying 3 years. I actually, in my Facebook, more like 5. I've been doing these videos. So it's fun, and thank you all for being here. And I hope to talk to you all soon. I'll see you next week, God willing, and the creek don't rise. I'm losing my voice. Behave yourselves, all right? And make some new moon promises. Think about what you want to manifest here with this Taurus moon. Mine's hitting my house of career really nicely. So I'm happy with that. New opportunities to make money and build career. That's a good thing. So talk to you later, guys. Take care. If you go on YouTube, I have shared videos on how to find out where things are hitting your chart, how to know where in your chart the new moon is hitting. Go on YouTube, go down, and you'll see I do the astrology. It's really easy on astro.com, how to pull up the transits. I go over it step by step. All right. And you can find out where this new moon is hitting your chart. So you know what area of your life is being impacted with new, fresh, innovative ideas, and opportunities, and energy. Okay? And bye-bye.